Hi, Elise. Thank you so much for helping with my project. Could you say a little bit about yourself?
Sorry?
Oh, could you say a little bit about yourself? Where do you live? What do you do? What are things you like? You know, that type of thing.
Okay. By the names, I'm Muntono Alice Mpikwe. I'm 24 years. I'm a Ugandan by nationality. Currently, I'm in Saudi Arabia. I'm working as an housemaid. I'm an orphan and I have my young brothers that I take care of. I love football and I love, oh my God. I also love these issues of the money, like is it the white, the luna, how do you call it? Anything concerning the moon, okay? It's my favorite, though I don't know anything much, but I'd love to know more about the moon. The most interesting part, I would like to know more about the eclipse. I think if it's also concerned about the moon, and I think that's it. I'm friendly. I like making friends, and I like helping the needy. That's all.
That is
And
amazing. So when you look up at the moon at night, what do you think? Do you think, wow, it's like so pretty, or do you like think, I hope someday we can go there, or like, what are your thoughts when you look at the moon? What does it make you think?
it's really pretty. Like when it's coming, it's just coming. There is this curve it makes.
And
There's that it makes.
like the little crest, like sometimes you don't see the whole thing, you see just a little sliver of it, like
yeah, when it's just coming. But when it's, I think when it's like in the mid of the night, when it's clocking to mid-morning, again, it comes when it's big. I just love watching the way it changes itself.
now
Yep.
back in 1969, two people actually landed on the moon, and for the first time in human history that we know about. And we had 6 different landings. A total of 12 people land on the moon from 1969 and 1972. And I was wondering, what do you think about people actually going to the moon? Is that something that excites you or fascinates you, or do you have questions about why are they doing that?
Yeah, I would like to know more about why people go there, because when I was young, when I was still at school, they could tell us that if someone goes in the moon, there is that force that you have to be like this. You don't have to move your hand like this. You have to be that your hand can remain up. You can't move. Huh? So I'd like to know, like, is it really true that people, if you go to the moon, and if you move like this, your hand it remains up, you be stuck there? Or I'd like to know more about that since I was young.
Now, there are also astronauts on the International Space Station that's orbiting the Earth every 90 minutes. And on there, they're in a condition known as free fall. So it's like, you know, the space station is actually falling towards the Earth, but it's moving so fast forward, it keeps missing it. And in that situation, they experience weightlessness. So they're just like floating around. And you could do the same thing in an airplane by kind of doing this hyperbolic flight. And I've done that before.
Yeah.
I'll send you a video of it so you can see what it's like. But on the moon, there is still gravity pulling people down, but the moon is much, much smaller than the Earth. So if you weigh, for example, let's say 120 pounds on Earth, you'll only weigh 20 pounds on the moon because there's that much less gravity. So you weigh about 1/6 of what you are on Earth. So your hand would still fall, but it would be easier to keep it up and it would fall slower.
It will fall slow. You don't remain up.
It don't remain up. Yeah, if you look at the recordings of the people on the moon, you can see them walking around, and they jump up and then they fall down and jump up and fall down. But and a lot of that had to. A lot of that had to do with their spacesuits. It was hard to move in their spacesuits, so they had a lot of difficulties with that. But,
for sure, that's was I was worried. Like every person who goes to the moon, that they remain up, they don't come back.
well, so far, everybody we sent to the moon has come back, so that's good.
Then what do you use to go there? Like, do you go by airplane after? What machines do you use?
So back in between 1916 and 1972, they used a big rocket called the Saturn V. It was like as tall as maybe a 40-story building, I think, maybe taller. I have to go and check on that. And the rocket would, have like a big flame coming out of the bottom, pushing it up into the sky, getting it faster and faster and faster. And parts of it would fall off as it ran out of fuel, and then that would take them all the way to the moon. There's some videos of it I can send you too if you're interested.
Okay, then the moon and the sun, they are different.
Yes,
they are not
the sun is much farther away. So light actually takes time to travel. You don't realize it because it's very, very fast. But like the light from the sun, like the sun is so far away that it takes like 15 minutes for that light to reach us. So whenever you look at the sun, you're actually looking at stuff that happened 15 minutes ago. And the moon is so close that it's only like a second or two, well, less than a second for like radio waves and light to make it from the moon. So.
Oh, so then what causes the thing, like when the moon comes, when the sun comes and the moon, they call it solar eclipse?
Yes, yes.
What causes that?
So if you have like the sun here, and then you have the Earth is orbiting around the sun. Well, the moon is orbiting around the Earth, and it's not they're not at the same angle. So sometimes the moon will come between the Earth and the sun, and that's what causes the eclipse.
They call it eclipse.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes the Earth comes between the sun and the moon, and you actually see the shadow of the Earth on the moon.
Yeah, we see the shadow down for the only for the moon.
Yeah.
And the climate changes. If it has been sunny, it's quite dark.
Yes.
Even though it's that time, there is some change. So let me tell you some funny story. When the eclipse came, they're in Uganda. I'm Ugandan. So we could put their water to wash to see. So they could tell us, we could think that they are fighting.
Oh my goodness. But if you're just looking at it from the Earth, it feels that way, doesn't it?
We put their water in the basin because we can't wash it up for the eyes to get infected. So we put their water in the basin, we start washing to see those eclipses. So in our mind, we were like, they are fighting. It was quite funny, but I'm lucky that finally you've told me the truth.
Yeah, you know, the sky has been a mystical and magical place for so much of human history. But
Mm.
you know, it's largely just matter moving around, following basic laws of motion, you know, that are possible to understand and predict.
Yeah. So how long does it take to go? Like from Earth to
So it took the Apollo astronauts 3 days to go from the Earth to the moon. Now, they could have gone faster, but the thing is, if they went faster, then they would need to be able to slow down. If they didn't slow down, then they would go past the moon. At the speed that you're going for 3 days, you're able to get captured by the moon's gravity, so it's safer. But I think the best answer to your question would be 3 days.
will be 3 days. So do you travel with some eats?
Hmm?
do you travel do you travel with the some eats? Like you can't get hungry from there because I know for a human being you have to eat.
Well, not only do you have to bring your own food, you also have to bring your own air, and you also have to protect yourself from the radiation of the sun. Um, the
It's quite risky for sure. It's quite risky.
It is, yeah, for sure. I mean, because you may not realize it, but the Earth protects us a lot from radiation from the sun. The Earth has a magnetic force that, you know, if you have like a compass, it'll always point north. Uh, that same magnetic force helps to, you know, repel the solar winds and other things, the radiation. But in addition to that, we have all this
Yeah.
atmosphere with water in it that is also protecting us. And when you go into space, you don't have this. So,
Okay. So there is no much risk. Eh? You can't get you can't put yourself on risk. Okay, you're safe with it. What I mean, you're safe. Eh?
yeah, you have to take a lot of precautions. It's like,
So it needs like going to school, or is there a training like they can teach you how to do everything practically? You
well,
first go to study, then
the 12 people that landed on the moon, they were originally military test pilots, and then they got recruited by the U.S. Space Agency, NASA, to undergo very rigorous training, and then they were prepared to go. But you know, the last time we sent people to the moon was 1972, almost 49 years ago. Since then, nobody's been to the moon.
not yet.
Not since 1972.
Then when are they going again?
Well, they were aiming for 2024, but it looks like it may take several more years than that. But it should be sometime in this decade.
Okay, I understand then.
And so I'm kind of excited that we're going back, you know, that because I wasn't old enough to see the first time, but now I'm here so I can see.
You already went.
Oh, I'm not going. No, I
Eh?
wish, but I'm just watching. I'm just watching other people go. Uh,
Why don't you go?
uh, right now, you have to. There's thousands of people every year that apply to be a NASA astronaut, and only I think a few dozen, or maybe a dozen of them get selected. And then there's like a pool of several hundred astronauts that are all going through training. They go to the International Space Station, and some of them are going to be selected to go to the moon. So it's very, very competitive.
Okay. Yeah, I can understand. I wish you can get a chance and you also go.
Me too. Me too. But if you had the chance and you could go through the training and everything, would you go to the moon?
Of course, because I want to see things practically. Yeah. I want, for sure I want. Because what?
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I hope you get the chance. I hope you and I both get the chance sometime.
For sure. I would like to go there, but I don't think whether I'll get that chance. Because I don't think whether it's there in our country. I don't think so.
It's amazing to think, like 20 years ago, the cell phone, there wasn't anything like this, and now everybody has one all around the world, and
but I doubt whether it's there in our country. I don't think so. Mainly, you whites, you have your technology. You're good at such things. I'm telling you the truth. Because according to what I've ever seen, mainly whites can deal with that.
I think you'd be surprised. There are people in the US and in UK and Europe and Japan and China. You'll see a lot of people of all different backgrounds developing and using technology. So I think it has more to do with maybe the education and the infrastructure and the society. So I think Uganda could be a technological powerhouse too. It's just about trying to figure out, how to make it happen.
Only prayers. Only prayers, because anyway, Uganda is a nice country, but I've never heard of such things, of traveling to the moon, or there are some training centers whereby someone can go and train anything about the moon or the sun to go on the moon. Madam? Okay. I think I'll say bye-bye.
Okay. Thank you so much for talking to me. Have a good day, and I look forward to staying in touch.
Okay, we shall keep on talking.
Okay.
Thanks for that chance.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, be blessed.
Be blessed.
Bye. Okay.